Okay, hello everyone. So today's video is an answer to Imani Flowers. She wanted me to give her a shout out, so she's the one who's asking this question. Imani Flowers, one of my friends on Facebook. So if you ever want me to tell like the identity of who's asking the question, just tell me. I'll let everybody know. All right. So this is the question, and you see it. And she saw my video about communicating with the ancestors. And so from that video, she asked this question. And that is, how do I feel? Do I feel that your afterlife experience depends on your life experience? And do I believe in reincarnation? So my first response was yes and no. It's kind of like, as far as your afterlife depending upon your life, I kind of think it's all these things start to go hand in hand. I think that we do create our worlds, and I think that's the main thing I told her. But let me kind of give you a little story and let you see where I'm really coming from in this. So last week, and 2 weeks ago, I talked about dealing with the feelings of losing a friend to suicide. Well, for me, that was my college boyfriend, and when we had first got together, I think that I used to get these visions. We had a very strong connection, and when we first got together, I remember sometimes we might be laying down or something, and I would get these like flashes and visions of things. So I would see like a house. I would see just these flashes of things. How our children would look. I would just see this and they would just go away. And this is before we were even really like serious. This was just when we were friends. But he would come over and I would get these visions while he was over. So fast forward to about 7 years later, and that is when he passes. That's when he transitions through what was suicide. And I would say maybe about a month, maybe after that, I had this, not that long after he transitioned, or I knew of his transition. I had this dream where, these people came and said, look at that star, choose the brightest star in the sky and go to it. And I didn't know how I was going to do it, but somehow I went up into it, almost like kind of a tunnel feeling. I went up into this star. Once I got to the star, it was like a party. Everybody was greeting me. It was like everyone knew me. It was just it felt like, oh wow, I felt like I was home. I really felt like, wow, here are my people. It was like a real party. Everything was lovely. It was fantastic. Then from there, I was taken to this house, and immediately I knew the house. It was the house that I had visions of 7 years ago. I knew the house. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is the house. So I'm walking around the house, and I'm like, this is it. From everything, there was a swing, there was just different things. I'm like, this is the house. It was perfect. It was exactly the way it looked. And so I'm walking in the house, and I think I go in the backyard and go in through the back, and there he is. He's there, and I'm like, oh my goodness. So and in that experience, what happened was, we walk around the house, we spend time together. It was kind of like spending this kind of quality time together, and then it was somewhat traumatic. But then new people started to come into the house, and almost like the house was up for sale. Like, okay, this is no longer our house. But that is what happened. And I thought to myself, wow, that's really kind of amazing that this happened. Now, you can see it, you can take it however you would like. That's really not my concern. I'm just sharing with you how I understand things and through my personal experiences. So, for me, I really see that as, did I create that? Was it something that I created? It's hard for me to say if I created it, if I didn't create it, but all I know is that there's a world that is very real, and that it came to me several times, and then I went to it. And And that was a real experience. And the people that were there to greet me, um, were felt like family, felt like people that I've always knew, and it was like this big party, and it was all kinds of people too, which was very shocking to me because it was one of the first. It was just like all kinds of people, all kinds of looks, all kinds of everything, but yet I seemed to know all of them, and they all knew me, and so when I think about that part, the afterlife, and I don't think there's a real such thing as afterlife. I just think that there are other worlds that exist out there that we create. And since that experience, you can imagine that I've started to realize, especially through recording my dreams, and there are several different worlds that I go to every time, and they're the exact same way I left them. And each time it's something different, as far as like a different experience, but the worlds are the same. So I think we create our own worlds. This is just one world that we happen to be in right now. So in that sense, I don't necessarily think there's what you do here. If you're saying what you do here affects your afterlife, everything is affecting everything right now. You see? Just like my experience in that other world, when I went to the house and with him, it has affected my experience here. Everything is affecting everything. So you are always existing, you are always expanding, and so therefore in every little place where you are expanding and existing, so are the worlds that you can go to and are connected to. The worlds that you create, the worlds that are presented to you, however you want to see it. Okay? And then to the other aspect, do you believe in reincarnation? Do I believe that we come into physical bodies in this kind of density, more than once? Yes. Yeah. I could yeah, I've had plenty of experience. I have been able to see my what you would call past lives, or some people say concurrent lives. I have seen those lives. So it helps me understand, and it's connected to what I just said, that there's many worlds, there's many existence, there's no such thing as time in that sense. And I'm not saying this because I read it in a book or heard it from someone. I'm saying this because of my own personal experiences and how I have to try to put together and understand all the things that I'm experiencing and all the things that I'm seeing. So that's really where I'm always coming from. I do not talk about things that I have not experienced. So I'm only talking about what I have experienced. So in this reincarnation thing, yeah, it happens over and over and over again. And sometimes when you're going through a hard time in your life, what you will find is if you're spiritually in tune and you're really kind of working on opening up to, I would say, more knowledge and knowing yourself, then you'll start to be able to tap into those past lives and see, oh, okay, wow, this is how this person connects to me, or this is how I can understand this person more because of this particular experience that we have shared at a different time. So that is my feeling of reincarnation. And so let me see if I did write her things. I just want to make sure that I feel. Oh, so I wrote here that I actually feel your physical experience here is more reflective of your past life experiences. And that's exactly what I just said in the sense of reincarnation. That I feel like all these lives that you're experiencing, when you come here, it's like you're able to incorporate and put all that stuff together to create an even more profound experience here. Right? Because this is such a dense place. Even this morning, I had the first thought I had was, wow, I need to ground all my experiences last night into this experience. That was the first thought I had. And so that's really where I'm going with all this. Like even today, see, I have this river rock here, this nice big rock, and I am literally using this as a symbol, a physical symbol, because we're in a physical reality, so I use physical symbols to help me do things, and I am letting this sit right here near what people call your root chakra, and I am consciously saying, ground in all the wild and high vibe experiences that I've had, and ground this into this reality. That's what I'm doing right now. Whether it's healing, whether it's higher consciousness, whatever it is, I'm decided right now I want to ground all this stuff in. And I am doing this so I can also make this video and make sure that I'm not missing anything that I feel is important. So I hope that answers the question. If you would like me to expound, or there's a detail or something that I've said in this that sparks another question, do not hesitate to ask. I have a new Facebook page, just Kiki Cinza, where come and friend me on that page, and we can be buddies and we can be pals, and you can see all the silly stuff that I like to write. And yeah, Kiki Cinza, Kikicinza. And you can find me pretty much on everything that way. Twitter, Kiki Cinza. My website, kikicinza.com. I have a Facebook kind of like fan page, Kiki Cinza. I keep it consistent. All right. So thank you, everyone. I hope that answers your question. I hope maybe it sparks new questions and makes you think about some experiences that you have had and put those together and see what you get. This is what I got. Okay, bye.